Welcome, we're glad you're here for Table Talk and Tumbleweeds. This is Pastor Lisa and I'm Pastor Josh, and we're continuing our discussion on Holy Week and entering into the city, preparing for the confrontations, let's say, at the end of Holy Week, particularly Good Friday. And so part of what we're going to talk about as we get into that is the choices that are made both in the Holy Week story, but also the choices that are made within our Lent of the Rings thing with the Black Gate.
Yes.
When the Black Gate opens and there's a possibility for great despair.
Yeah, it's the choice to go to the Black Gate,
Yes.
right? The choice, which is a choice to make a sacrifice,
Yes.
right? So, we have this victory in Gondor, which was really only a very temporary victory.
Yeah.
Because the forces of Mordor.
So this is why Denethor despairs, because
he
has
sees,
seen.
Yes.
The might of Mordor is greater than we are, and there is no way around it.
There's no way around it. Even, we held them back this time, but that was just a small incursion. A little bit rushed, a little bit faster than it would have been because Aragorn shows himself.
Yeah.
And Denethor knows because he's seen, and he knows that the Palantir is not lying. The Satan Stone is not lying. That is the might of Mordor.
Yes.
And there's no way they can withstand it, right? And so
when the full force of Mordor comes, there's nothing we can do.
There's nothing we can do. And so the situation is that you have this, right? Sauron still holds Mordor. He has this giant host, a fell host.
Yeah.
That is, most of the Nazgul are still around. There's the king.
They killed the one, but
yeah, the Witch King is dead, but there's still Nazgul. The Eye is searching desperately for the ring. Frodo is somewhere inside enemy territory.
And they don't know where.
They don't know where. We know he's been captured. Right?
Yeah.
We know he's been captured. Sam is by himself. He's like that. So the situation is incredibly dire. Yeah. And it's this point that Aragorn and Gandalf, after Aragorn has done the Houses of Healing, call for a council of basically the leaders, Imrahil and Gimli and Boromir and the other generals and captains of the armies.
Yeah.
Right?
So the decision they have to make is, how are we going to respond to the might of Mordor?
And Gandalf makes a proposition, says this is what we should do, right? Prudence dictates that we stay here.
Yeah.
We reinforce that we can, do what we can with the gate. Even, the gate's not going to hold if there's no people. Prudence says we stay here, we fortify, but even though that's the prudent thing, you should, everyone there knows that all that's doing is giving you a few extra days of life.
And that's at best what you can hope for.
And that's best what you can hope for.
Is that nevertheless not something worth doing? Of course it is.
Yes.
But we should be aware that as far as we know, this is over.
This is over. So the prudent choice of staying in the city is not a strategy to win. It's a strategy to live a few more days. Mm-hmm. The alternative is we march to the Black Gate.
Yes.
Right? We march to the Black Gate and demand Sauron to surrender.
Yeah.
He's not going to surrender, right? He's not going to surrender. But what Sauron will do, he thinks, they're hoping, they're pretty sure, is send his forces that way.
And then not have his forces in Mordor, where the ring is.
So this is not a winning strategy. It's a feint.
It is a very, very sacrificial feint.
It's a
because
sacrificial
everyone
feint.
who goes to this will not come back.
Yes,
and they know this.
They know that. These are seasoned, right? These are the riders of Rohan. This is the Grey Company. This is Gandalf, Gimli, Legolas. They know that they are not going to survive this. That they're going to die, and it's different than the riding into battle.
Right. Because this is overwhelming. This is not just a one-to-one sort of thing. Well, we'll more or less make it. This is putting your foot inside of the bear trap.
Yeah, and putting your foot inside the bear trap in order to lure the bear in. Right? It's playing.
Which is just.
It's playing with the bear cub. Look at this cute little grizzly bear cub. Because your friend is over there on the other side. You can't see your friend. You're not sure they're there. You think they're there, and they're probably still alive. And so you need the bear to come this way and kill you.
Yeah.
So that your friend can get away. Right?
Because once again, the goal of all of this, and we've talked about this before, the fellowship is not built around, affinity groups. It's not built around friend groups. It's built around that goal. And that goal is destroying the ring.
Yes.
And so if I have to, in this moment, in this place, give my life so that the ring might be destroyed, then I'm going to do it. Which is a real serious commitment.
But it's not even I mean, it's not even, I can see Frodo over there. And so, look, over here, over here, you know, giving the person a chance that you can see. For all they know, the enemy already has Frodo. They pretty sure that he doesn't, because if he did, he'd be using it. He could be dead. And he's almost dead. He could be captured, and he is captured, but Sauron doesn't know what
That he has the ring.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know that he has the ring, but he's also, does Sauron even know that they have a hobbit? I guess he must, because...
He must, because they demand that they bring the prisoners to the tower.
Yes.
But he doesn't know what the Hobbit's there for. He doesn't know what the purpose of the Hobbit is.
Perhaps thinks he's a spy.
Yeah. And so this does get dealt with when the messengers, the voice of Sauron
the voice of Sauron comes out. And again, it's not in the movie. I haven't watched the whole director's cut. Some of this is in the director's cut, I think, that they march to the gate and the voice of Sauron comes out and is, you know, being kind of a jerk to Gandalf and Aragorn. And then he brings out the little sword and the coat and this other stuff. And he says, we're going to torture this guy for eternity, you know, just to be a jerk, right? And
you can have him back
if you retreat, give us everything. And
the cure is worse than the disease.
Yeah, and Gandalf then says, okay, father of lies, right? Why would we even believe that you have this person? Bring him, show him to us, and then we'll retreat. And of course, that's the moment when the mouth sort of hesitates, and Gandalf flings off his cloak and does one of the Gandalf things, right?
Gandalf the White.
Gandalf the White, and that really disturbs the voice of Sauron, the mouth of Sauron, excuse me. Disturbs the mouth of Sauron and retreats, and that's when, the black gate, right? So the interesting thing about this to me is this is a feint, this is a sacrifice, a last stand that really achieves nothing except buying time for a hope they don't see.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and I think the original organization that we'd read about this put Mount Doom and Frodo and the Ring on Good Friday because that was the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I think we're deciding that actually this is the sacrifice.
This is the
This
sacrifice.
is the moment where they sacrifice their own lives for the good of somebody that they will never see, well, they don't think they'll ever see again.
And most of them don't, so I mean, many of them do die. I mean, it's a fate that succeeds, but the dead don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something different than battlefield heroism. I mean, battlefield heroism is, we're going to go in there, we're going to, you know, I could die, but we're going to crush this enemy, right? That's battlefield heroism, and I think that the difference between this kind of, you know, no one's going to sing my name, right? Because they, you know,
there will be no one left to sing it,
and no one's going to know what we did. This is passing the ball to someone else, right? So, you know, but passing the ball, knowing I'll die when I do it, a little bit more than, you know,
passing the torch almost.
Yeah, and so I think it's a sacrifice that's rooted in I can't remember where I got this from. This idea of deep hope, right? And you know, we talked a lot about hope last week on the video. We talked about it in the book club. That hope is a choice that we make. It's a choice that we make together. It's a choice that we make to hang in together, to support each other, to keep moving. Mr. Frodo, one foot in front of the other. We can do this, right?
I can't carry the ring, but I can carry you.
I can carry you.
Yeah, that's a choice.
Yeah, and hope is flexible. That's the thing I sort of, that intrigued me by the conversation that we had in book club was that hope is flexible, and that's what happens to Denethor, right? Because Denethor has this vision for what the future is going to be, and when it changes, he can't pivot. He said, well, if I can't have that, I'm going to have nothing, and I'm going to kill myself and everyone I love.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of saying, the future that I thought, that hope that I had isn't going to happen, so I'm going to shift my hope to somewhere else. Right? So Denethor loses hope because he's not flexible. But I think here the kind of hope that I see in this is the difference between ordinary hope and deep hope, right? And ordinary hope is kind of a hope in calculation. It's like gambling, right? You know, I mean, it's a gamble. It's based on the odds. The odds might be long, but there's still a chance, right? There's still a chance.
It's that 1,000,000 to 1 chance that crops up 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, success is possible, and it's poker. It's throwing the dice. It's you know, most people don't win, but if you play smart, you can play the odds, right? You know, it's not foolish hope. It's ordinary hope, right? But I think deep hope is something different. It's what arises as we talked about hope leading to despair. perhaps it's the opposite of, ordinary hope dies and either becomes despair or it shifts into this deeper hope that's not really based on odds. It's you can talk about it based in faith, the here and now in each other. I don't know what the future brings, but I believe in you right now. A belief in God, right? A belief that there is an order to God, the order to the universe, that God, that God has a preferential option for some people, perhaps not others, right? It is hope in the midst of a hopeless situation. And Paul talks about Abraham, that scene with Abraham, where God is, he has just sent Hagar and Ishmael off, and God is like, don't worry, you're going to be the father of a great nation through Sarah,
who's 95.
Yeah, and Abraham's like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen, right? And yet, it still does, right? She does have a child, and then later, Abraham is told to kill that child, right? I don't want to go down there because Kierkegaard is going to raise his ugly head.
Binding of Isaac will have to be a different day.
Yes, the binding, and it's a good discussion, but fortifying Minas Tirith and waiting for the assault, that's regular hope.
Yeah, that is okay. We're going to debate these odds that we can beat them this day, this time. But now,
so you're marching to the Black Gate. That's deep hope. Marching to the Black Gate in order to get that eye to turn to you and to watch you, that's irrational. That's a rational hope, and I think that's what Gandalf calls it, an irrational hope. Yeah. It's deep hope.
And I think part of it comes out of this, once again, the fellowship idea. This is not about me anymore.
Yes.
Whatever happens in this stage from here on, this is not about me. This is about Frodo in some ways. But it's also about the salvation of the world. The
salvation of the world, which I think is an appropriate term to use on this Good Friday moment. Right?
This is not about me and what I want. This is not about me and what I need. This is about what the world needs, and I'm going to sacrifice to bring that about.
And really, in some ways, marching to the Black Gate is we're going to ride, we're going to do this in order to save Frodo and in order to save the world. It's like you are going to sacrifice yourself so that someone else might live. And that's Frodo, but also everyone, right? That they don't have to live under this cloud.
Yeah.